Hey pilots, DrainMan here, and today I have got a very special video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at something super special. If you still fly analog, for whatever reason, you still fly analog. Maybe you've got a DJI unit, you've got the goggles, you fly DJI, but you've got a Cinewhoop that's analog. Maybe you got a couple micros that are analog. I don't know. Maybe you still fly analog altogether. If you like Crossfire and you fly analog, you are not going to want to miss this. Let's go. All right, pilots, so you fly analog and you've got to know possibly the best VTX that has ever walked this earth is probably this guy right here. Hands down, the TBS Unify Pro 32 is just a double-decker monster. It's a full VTX that just pumps power. Whenever I ran analog and I had this guy on my quad, I rarely had video problems. Now, if I'm pushing it, and then you're on your own. But there's been great VTXs out there, and maybe you run some others. But if you want to talk about up in the top 3 at best, this guy is in that category. And this guy right here is $49.95, okay? So we're going to go ahead and set that aside. And then we're going to talk about Crossfire. That's your radio link. If you're flying an FR Sky radio, Radio Master, whatever you got going on, you've got yourself a radio with radio link that is not DJI. You might even still fly DJI, but you got yourself a standard radio link. You possibly are. There's a good chance you're running Crossfire, and it's just one of the best that's out there. You can get yourself a Crossfire Nano receiver for about 29 bucks, and you can go far. You can fly in concrete bandos, you can do the works, and you're rarely going to have trouble with your radio link. It's just why Crossfire is simply one of the best. I know that when I ran analog, I ran with Crossfire, and I loved it. Then I switched to DJI, and I still ran Crossfire just with DJI. So a lot of you guys still do. So imagine I'm building a quad, I've got a camera, I've got a stack, I've got motors, ESCs, I've got the works, but when it comes to my video, I want one of the best, so I'm going to put this guy in there. I'm looking at 50 bucks. Then I want to have the best possible radio link possible, and that's going to be this little guy right here, or maybe the Crossfire Diversity, whatever it may be, and that is another $30. So now I am looking at 80 bucks for the two of these. If I want to have a good quad, good radio link, and very good video, I'm looking at $80 right here. And guess what? I spend it every time because I want the good stuff. So now what if I told you that we took this right here, and we took this right here, and we turned this one upside down, and we turned this one this way, and we went ahead, and we stacked those two together just like that, and we called it Sweet 69. I know that's a little pervish, but it is a 69. That's what you got going on here. You'd be like, well, that's great. That's a great idea, but maybe now I'm going to have trouble mounting my radio link in the front, my VTX on top, and now one antenna's whatever. Why would I do that? For 80 bucks, I'll just buy both. What if one breaks? Now they both break. Why would I do that? But what if I told you that you could get both these together, 69 action, huh? For 50 bucks. 50 bucks, you get both. It is called the TBS 69. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but it is here, it is out, and you can get yours right now. And it's super awesome. I just can't help it. I had to go ahead and get me one. Let me go ahead and crack this puppy open so you can see what's inside. Look at this. Everything right inside of the bag, right there, 50 bucks. I just saved me $30. So for the price of this one VTX, I got myself the VTX and the Crossfire together. Check this out. I know. There she is. All right, look at this. 50 bucks. Look at that beautiful masterpiece. The only thing I believe that it's lacking when you're talking about comparing one to the other is you don't have your USB, so you can't flash right off like that with the USB, but you can hook this up to the TBS Agent X and you can flash from there. You can flash over the air. That's how this works. That's how all Crossfires work. And yes, it is running TBS Crossfire version 3. Right off the press, right out of the box. bag. It's running version 3. It even makes mounting better. It's got 20 by 20 mounting options. You've got a sweet little 20 by 20 case. We'll go ahead and put it in there just to entertain it, but you can also mount 30 by 30. Look at that. We've got this option too right here. Look at that, huh? Super sweet. Let me show you. You drop this guy on just like this, and then you drop this guy on just like that, and now you are not only mounted and looking awesome, you are also protected. You're protecting your electronics. FPV is one of the very few, maybe the only electronics industry that takes bare electronics, straps them to carbon fiber, and sends them flying down the sky at ridiculous speeds. So granted, of course our electronics are breaking on us, so why not cover them up? And that's what this is right here. This is a nice little shell of protection. I absolutely love it. And you would want to line this up so that your connector is coming out right here. Let me show you. And then it's got a little cutout for that large capacitor right there. But there you go, look at that. And that's going to give you a little bit of low noise feedback protection and just overall good to mount with. So check it out. Can we stack that with this? Yes. Yes, you can. Look at that. You can mount right like that. Or, look at that, it even stayed. It's so good. What you can do is you can stack this up under here. You throw your little low noise protection on. You take your 30 by 30, and this actually has little lips right here. It's kind of hard to point out. See that right there? It's got little lips. It actually clips into place. And then you can mount this on your quadcopter 30 by 30, so it doesn't matter. Because when you're mounting your flight controller stack one more right on top and you're good to go. Or you can put it in the back. Most quadcopter frames these days in the back has a place to mount 20 by 20, some 30 by 30, but it's there. You'll see that there's some copper slots right here, brass slots right here, and those are actually dividing because your Crossfire is actually right here and your VTX is right here. And I went ahead and I took the Crossfire receiver, the Crossfire Nano, and I compared, and I mean it's pretty much identical. There's your front, and if I flip it over, there's your back. I mean, look at that. You literally have the Crossfire Nano on board, and you literally have a VTX Pro 32 on board. You've got one plug. It's very simple. Let me show you. You take your one plug, you plug this guy in just like yay, boom. You wire this all up to your quadcopter and you're done. Now, very cool. When you power up your Crossfire Nano, yes, you need 5 volts. You've got to use a 5-volt pad. Well, this guy can handle up to 6S, and it has a built-in 5-volt regulator. It is a switching regulator. I did spot it on here. And it brings you down to the 5 volts needed to power the Crossfire Nano, all in one shot. All you got to do is take this red black wire, hook you up to straight to battery if you want to, and feed her right in, and you're good to go. You're going to notice on top you've got 2 connectors right there. You've got one for your RC, and that's on the side that I said that looks like the Crossfire. But if you were unsure, it does say RC right here. And for example, look at this. You get an Immortal V2 antenna packaged right in the package. That it basically, so now we're not even talking about the Crossfire Nano anymore. We are talking about the Crossfire Nano SE, which is the special edition. Why? Because you got an Immortal T built in. So that's another $5. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and, bloop, look at that. Look at that. We are set. Oh my gosh. This is great. I love the ingenuity, the creativity. I really do. Watch this. Boom. Look at that. And then I throw myself a Triumph Pro, whatever you want, whatever you're into, throw it on there, a matchstick, whatever. And look at that. You are rocked and locked and loaded. Now, if you want to go out the same side, sure, go ahead. Look at that. You can do it. You want to go out this way? Go ahead. You want this side? Sure. Whatever you want. You're saying, well, what if? What if I want a hardwired? I don't want to use the plug. Well, that's okay. Watch this. Ugh. Okay, that's a good plug. Watch this. Boom. All your pads broken out right there, right across the bottom. Now, I'm going to sweeten the pot, something that they don't tell you, but I know because I spotted it. If you come on top and you are connected right here and you just so happen to break this connector off, it's kind of hard to see, but right there, look at that. There are pads hidden under that. You can just literally break this connector off. Oops, my bad. And then you go ahead and solder up right there. You've got your power on this side, you've got your ground on this side, and you are rocking and a rolling. Obviously, because it is a TBS Unify Pro, you can come right out of here with this plug and you can go right into your camera, powering your camera, and powering up your video, giving your video from your VTX directly to your camera. It's really not the best. I mean, the video quality may be great, but you're not going to get your OSD. So depending on what you're running, if you've got a Betaflight OSD, whatever you got going on, you're probably going to want to pass that video wire from the camera to the flight controller, then over to the VTX. That way you are actually putting your OSD in through your feed. If you did just buy this guy and you've wired it up and you're trying to get going and for whatever reason it isn't connecting, keep in mind that you've got to be running version 4.62 or greater. Keep that in mind. So if you haven't flashed in a while, go ahead, flash, get everything up to par, and get in the sky. All right, and if I haven't mentioned, if you've got good cooling and everything's running great, you can get up to 1 watt. That is 1,000 milliwatts, and you can really pump some juice and really get some distance. Me personally, I can't wait. I'm gonna wire this up and try it out. If you guys don't know how to wire it or you need a little bit of help on setting it up, flashing, whatever, let me know. I'll make a video on it. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about this. And if you have switched over to TBS Tracer, the new hot stuff out, keep in mind this 69 is coming in TBS Tracer, so that way you've got a tracer and you've got your 1 watt video transmitter. Hey, can't beat it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.